Good morning, my beautiful followers. How is everyone doing on this Monday morning? So, I am sitting in my car at the chiropractor. So, I was waiting, and they're like, we have an hour wait, and I didn't want to go all the way home. So, I'm waiting, and I was like, I'll go sit in my car, and I will talk to my beautiful, amazing followers and catch up with you people today. So that is why I'm sitting in my car today as I'm talking to you guys. So you get Addison just in my chill clothes, nothing super fancy, but that's what Addison Unleashed is all about, getting the real, raw, and authentic. So it was a beautiful weekend with female orgasm camps, some lots of sharing, some beautiful energy and orgasm going on, some beautiful learning. I had some really proud moments with some people in my life as they sat and they watched orgasm camp, and some of my clients as they really expanded into female orgasm, but within themselves too, because it is so amazing and profound to watch people really expand in this class, and especially even guys. So women watching them go, I really can have that. Really believing that they can have good orgasm. Really believing that they have the opportunity to have this multi-orgasmic experience that is spiritual and not just physical, that they can have this connection, and that is so beautiful. But also watching men really leaning into this, really breathing this in, really wanting to please their partner. So it was a truly amazing weekend, and then I just had some beautiful connective moments with those I love, and so it was a good weekend. But over the weekend I had several conversations about trust and mistrust and honesty and truth, and all of these I would call aspirational, hold on, it's getting hot in my car, aspirational kind of goals that we have. Like, we ask people to be honest with us. We ask people to trust us and to have, and for them to speak truth to us. Nobody goes around going, please lie to me. Please lie to me, especially in our romantic relationships and our friendships and those really profound moments. We don't go, please lie to me. I want you to lie to me consistently. And yet, what came through this weekend over and over again with multiple different people as I heard what they were sharing, and I shared things myself, friends, family members, lovers, so many different people, clients. And it was that sometimes truth just builds more mistrust in a relationship. The more honest we are, oftentimes, the more mistrust our partners actually have. The more mistrust other people stirs within them. So let me give you an example. So, let's say desire. Desire is a beautiful thing. I love desire. But say I have two clients. I have a couples client and one partner. If the woman's like, have this desire to be with, let's say, multiple men. I have this desire to be with multiple men, and this is my truth. This is my truth. You asked me for my desires, and here is my desire. Here is what I truly, truly want. And so he asked for her desire, and then he has to sit with, oh my goodness, she just was honest with me. She was just honest with me, but can I hold it? Can I hold this honesty? Hi, everyone jumping on. I love seeing all the people jumping on. Say hello, give me a comment. So she just shared this truth. And then he has to sit with, she shared this desire with me. And oftentimes, mistrust gets built in that moment. Because with her sharing, here is my desire, then he will go into all of his head junk. And we do this, and this is just an example. We all do this. So we could reverse roles here. This could be a different scenario. It's just a good example. So then he goes into all his head stuff and is like, well, is she fucking people behind my back? Is she having an affair? Is she Is she not being honest with me with what she's doing outside of the relationship? All of these insecurities start to build. So when people are truthful with us, when people are honest with us, oftentimes we go into our own insecurity, we go into our own worthiness issues, and what ends up happening is we build more mistrust in the relationship versus having somebody sharing and then us going, they're being honest with me and building more trust. Our insecurities are what build mistrust within us. It does not matter what another person is sharing. Our own insecurities, oftentimes when people are being honest with us, being truthful with us, builds more mistrust in a relationship. I see this over and over again when I have like clients trying to open up their relationships. They try to open up their relationships, and by being truthful, by being honest, by sharing what's actually on their heart or actually happening, what ends up happening is more mistrust begins being stirred because of the insecurities, the jealousies, our own shit. Because we all have it. We all have that stuff within us. And so it is this checking. So there is a way to avoid this. When we're in a relationship and we ask for someone's truth, or somebody is just giving us their truth, they're giving us our truth, it is checking. You have to check your own stuff. You have to stop and go, why am I allowing my mind to swirl? This person just shared this with me. I asked maybe some inquiry. Why do I not believe them? Why am I allowing my head to swirl? Our insecurities are one of the biggest things that get in the way of our relationship. So when we go, communication, you have to communicate in a relationship. You have to communicate in any relationship. Your relationship with your kids, your relationship with your bestie, your relationship with your lovers or partner, whoever that might be. But sometimes these communications, people will go, well, are they hiding anything else? Well, that is not their shit. That is your shit. If you were going into that space, that is your shit. If somebody has lied to you, and you're like, okay, like that is building mistrust. But that is not truth. That is not honesty. That is not a building of trust in a relationship. If somebody has consistently been truthful with you, then you need to look at, well, what are these insecurities being swirled within me? And why am I allowing these insecurities to really get in the way of the relationship? Because I promise you, I don't know if all women, but I know myself, if I've been in relationships in the past where people have been like, well, you're not telling me the truth. You're lying to me, or you're omitting things. And the truth is, we're talking about truth. Sorry, I crack myself up sometimes. In those relationships, the more I saw that I couldn't be honest because the other person would swirl with the honesty, the less honest I felt I could be. The more I retracted, the more I pulled back, versus, hey, Addison, what you just shared with me, that communication, that stirred me, and I'm going to need to process it for a little bit, because you're sharing truth with me, you're sharing honesty with me, and that now I have just some work to do. That is an owning. But what we instead often do is allow this mistrust to boil. And then also, there is this thing of, you are not owed anyone's truth. We think, oh, well, no, I'm owed honesty in my relationship. I'm owed truth. Well, you're not owed every piece of this other person's life. You are not owed every thought, every piece. Now, different relationships, there are different agreements. But especially at the beginning of a relationship, in in certain relationships. Like your children, those of you who have kids, like your kids aren't owed every piece of your life. So they're not owed for you to share at like this massively deep level. So sometimes if they ask something, you might omit things. I don't know a parent who hasn't, like, yeah, and they've omitted a piece of it because it's none of their fucking business. It's none of the kids' business. That is their stuff. That is their life, their inner workings, or the inner workings of this world over here. I get couples all the time that are like, well, she went out with her friends and she didn't tell me that they talked about that, or he went out with his guy friends and he didn't tell me that they had this conversation or that conversation, or there was a pretty woman and they looked at the pretty woman. Well, guess what? That level of is a level of mistrust. And you are not owed every piece of your partner's life. You're not. You're not owed to have a interviewing of every aspect of what is going on with your partner. That is emotional raping. That is trying to steal someone else's life and someone else's experiences and intimacies with somebody else. So if someone has an intimate moment, and I don't mean a sexual moment because again we have boundaries, but I mean an intimate conversation or with a friend, with a family member, some things it's okay that you keep to yourself. And your partner, your friend, your family member are not owed that. They're not owed that. You have to build, as much as somebody else has to build trust with you, you have to build trust with somebody else in being able for you to share things. Relationships, you have to do the work for you to get that level of trust that somebody is willing to share with you. Because sharing deeper things, sharing moments, sharing intimacies, these only come with a level of trust. And I can tell you, if you have this massive negative reaction every time your partner shares something with you that might be a little edgy, they're not going to trust you. They're not going to have the trust in you to share. You are building mistrust in that relationship. And the same thing goes in reverse. If you are finding out your partner is lying, then that is also going to build a mistrust. But it is looking at this when you ask for truth. When you want truth, are you building mistrust in your partner's truth? Does this stir your insecurities so you just build more mistrust? More like, what are they doing? And you get really in your head, in your ego, in your shit. Well, if you are, you really need to slow down and go, I'm asking for my partner's truth. They're sharing their truth. They're sharing their honesty. Can I hold it? Can I work with my own insecurities here? Because you can't, well, you can. It's just not going to work for you. You can't ask for someone's truth and then close down on them because they're sharing their truth. You can do it. It's just not going to work well for you. It's not going to work well for you because the more you close down, the more you go, well, now I'm even more mistrustful. Now I'm more insecure. Now I'm even more insecure. Every time somebody shares something with you, they're going to start backing away. They're not going to trust you to share. So each time someone comes to you and is like, I really want to share this. I really want you to I want to be truthful with you. I want to be honest with you. Every time you get more mistrustful of them in those situations, you're pulling this person and asking them basically to share less and less with you. Less and less openly. So, I feel like you've gotten my message. I feel like that's what I have to say today. So, I love that everybody's popping on. Thank you for all the love heart showers. side note, there is nothing that right this second I want to announce as far as workshops. I have a bunch of workshops in September and October, but none of them are currently at a place where you can go sign up for. They will be in the next day or two, but for now, there's no workshops that I want to announce. And you know where my application is to work with me one-on-one? At addisonbell.net/contact, and you can fill out an application and we can work with each other one-on-one, really dive deep, find out your insecurities, find out what it could be stopping you from amazing sex, an amazing life, because you reawaken your sex, you reawaken your life, you recover your life. And go recover your life today, guys. All right, I will see you beautiful people tomorrow for another Addison Unleashed. Bye, guys.